the Oilers and Oilers fans, there's this expectation that next summer they're going to like do something crazy. And with the cap savings from McDavid, boy, they're going to make a big splash finally. And I think that's a lot of times easier said than done. But then I look at the Nashville Predators and I'm like, oh boy, if there's any team Oilers fans should be crossing their fingers going, please be bad this year, please be bad this year. Like it should be Nashville. Like they might be a team who sells.
I agree. And I know the contract is lengthy and it's not small, but if you're not talking about looking at Juuse Saros, then what are we doing here? Like I think when you look at the Nashville Predators and look, come available if they decide to go the rebuild mode. Like I look at Saros and the Nashville organization specifically with his relationship with Barry Trotz. And I've always said that you can expect players to go along with one rebuild. I think that's fair. But considering how short careers are, you can't ask a player to go through 2 rebuilds. And if this is that Nashville is going to go, I would expect that Barry Trotz would have that conversation with Juuse Saros like, look, this is the direction we're going to go. We tried, we loaded up Stamkos, Marchessault, Brady Shea, and it didn't work. We need to go a different direction here. We love you, but we can't ask you to do this again. I know there's going to be a lot of noise around Ryan O'Reilly. I know there's already some noise around Steven Stamkos. But if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, again, the place that I'm looking at here, whether it's this year or, Tyler, to your point, next year with all the cap savings and the cap space, that's where I'd be looking if I'm the Edmonton Oilers. And don't even worry about the contract. Like, you're not in a place right now where you got to worry about, like, oh, what's that going to look like in 4 years? No. Don't even consider that whatsoever. You just need to think about the next game and the next, and the next round of playoffs if you're the Edmonton Oilers. That's the guy that I'd be looking at if I'm Edmonton.
Yeah, the question just comes to how do you...
What do you think?
I'm in. I mean, how can you not be, right?
I just don't think it could work in season.
It work? It's so difficult to do. But there's other pieces. How good is Ryan O'Reilly nowadays? Like, I don't watch a lot of Nashville Predators games, but like $4.5 million, like he can, I assume, can still play a pretty solid role for a contending team.
It's not just on the ice for O'Reilly too, but off the ice as well. Ask anyone who's ever played for him, and even in like the dog days of the Buffalo Sabres, where he talks about falling out of love with the game and losing passion and all that kind of stuff. Like he's a Game 7 guy about a lot of things in his life. He's still someone that wins you key faceoffs. He's still one that is a coach's dream in the sense that it's like we talked about with Zach Hyman. Whatever role you ask him to play, he'll do it, and he'll do it gladly. There is still some offense left with Ryan O'Reilly, but if we talk about, like, on a team like the Edmonton Oilers, he's not playing first-line center, right? It's like, I remember having a conversation once with Holik, and we were talking about, the difference between him playing on the Devils and him playing on the Rangers. And he said, Jeff, it's really simple. If Bobby Holik is your third-line center, I'll never forget they said about himself. If Bobby Holik is your third-line center, we're going to win the Stanley Cup. If Bobby Holik is your first-line center, we're not going to win the Stanley Cup. If Ryan O'Reilly is your first-line center, you're not going to win the Stanley Cup. If Ryan O'Reilly is your third-line center, man, you got a really good shot at winning the Stanley Cup. And that's where I see value in O'Reilly. Great on the defensive side of the puck, great with faceoffs. And I know they don't flood the room, so I always come shy about saying good guy in the room, but he's a good guy in the room. And great for your younger players too.
I like that line.
That's why I always get that. I remember someone said that to me a million years ago, Tyler. I go, oh yeah, good guy in the room. And this guy snaps back at me, goes, dummy, they don't flood the room. Like, oh yeah, right.
There will be, you could probably write a book on the many attempts the Nashville Predators have taken to find their number one centerman. Like, the list is long.
Oh,
Joe.
Forever.
Oh my
forever. God. For whatever reason, it's always been like, it's goaltenders, it's defensemen, usually from the Western Hockey League, and wingers. And maybe that brings us to Filip Forsberg too. Like, I think like the St. Louis Blues, for example, I think like a lot of things are getting on the table right now. And probably by the time the St. Louis Blues make a decision about their season, maybe everything is going to be on the table. But when you look at the Nashville Predators and say to yourself, okay, what could be on the table here? Sure, we're talking Stamkos. Sure, we're talking Ryan O'Reilly. What about Filip Forsberg? right? Going back to the Marty Erat trade when he came over from the Washington Capitals, how many whacks at the pinata has this guy had, and how much of a good soldier has he been to the Nashville Predators? And at what point do you say, do you want? Oh, like I'll tell you, when the Colorado Avalanche were looking at losing, when the Avalanche were looking at losing Gabriel Landeskog to the St. Louis Blues in free agency, the guy that they were planning on replacing him with was Filip Forsberg. That was a contingency plan for the Colorado Avalanche. Now, I love Gabe Landeskog. He might be my favorite player in the NHL. But tell me there's not something seductive about saying, Filip Forsberg playing with the Avalanche with that skating and that shot, maybe riding with Nathan McKinnon. I don't know.
He's a 90-point guy, and he hasn't had a high-end centerman to play with. Like,
Ever.
I know. It's crazy. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Everyday, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.